Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I am Christopher Disciple Allen. This is Disciple's Quest to become the very best shoutcaster ever. And let's get right into it here with day 19. I am shocked at how far I've made it, and let's hope we can get to day 365. And then I can finally take a little bit of a break. But that's unlikely to happen since I am looking to get better and better. But let's jump right into this game. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, as we are going to be spectating off of Evaniskus and his duo partner Impactful, both from Team Skyline. They are playing under alternate names, but hopefully that doesn't throw us off too much. So we get right here into our blue team. That will be Sperm Mom 840, which is actually Evaniskus, playing Thresh, supporting Josh Mabry Baby, Impactful on Lucian in the bottom lane. Moxie Jaren will be jungling as Mundo. Desecraten will be in the mid lane as LeBlanc, and Vloblux. A random combination of consonants with a random vowel thrown in there. It's going to be top lane Shen, who is apparently still a champion. Over on the red team, Shiny Altana, Lee Sin jungling with Art Style and Uncle Sam's Cabin as Jinx and Jana respectively. In the bottom lane, Goomba will be top on Tryndamere, and Titan Dweevil is that mid lane Xerath you see right there. Looking at some of these, I think it's going to be a pretty hard run here for Xerath in the mid lane. LeBlanc has so much mobility that she can completely abuse Xerath's both immobility and total reliance on skill shots. And if she can properly utilize not only her Deceive, but her ultimate, then or is the Deceive is Shaco's, hers is something different, but if she can utilize her jump, as well as maybe even the ultimate version of it, she could, in theory, dodge out of all of Xerath's skill shots, as well as doing enormous amounts of damage, silencing him and keeping him with that root. So that's going to be a pretty hard lane, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lee Sin maybe tried to at least defend him a little bit early, if not, see if he can't get him ahead in that lane, because if Xerath can farm up and keep LeBlanc from getting kills, then he'll naturally outscale her and turn into a bit of a siege machine there into the late game. Let's hop into the load screen, and you can see all these lovely skins and borders. A lot of diamond players here. I think this is actually in Platinum 1 right now, but all really solid players here. If we look on our bottom lane, John is really going to be just making an effort to keep Jinx safe from this incredibly aggressive Thresh Lucian combination. Jinx will outscale Lucian going on later into the game, and that's what they're looking for here by choosing Janna, who is not necessarily an aggressive support. She can go aggressive if they do get a gank from Lee Sin, throwing out that tornado and the slow from Zephyr, but it's not anywhere near the reliability and the absolute lockdown that someone like Thresh can bring out with the Death Sentence, Flay, and the box. And Janna just tends to be a much more defensive champion, which is going to fit well with Jinx, a champion with no escapes. A Mundo jungle doesn't have quite as many gank opportunities as Lee Sin does, especially early on. He can always throw out his cleavers, but he doesn't have really a lot of natural tankiness, so he can't necessarily dive a turret before level 11 even, until he gets a few items and a couple ranks in that ultimate. But however, he will outscale Lee Sin going later on to the game, becoming a tanky monster, being able to dive the back lines completely, and that's what he's going to look for here, is really just hoping his lanes can hold their own, helping them where he can, but ultimately just getting some of those tankier items. I expect to see a Spirit of the Ancient Golem, and potentially a Sunfire Cape, Spirit Visage, maybe even a Warmog's Armor, if it gets that far. And in the top lane, Shen can't do much against Tryndamere, maybe for the first 2 or 3 levels. Shen has quite a bit of burst potential from the Taunt and the Vorpal Blade. However, Tryndamere will just entirely outscale Shen up there, and Shen can be a pretty rough matchup here for the blue team, simply because he doesn't really have the tools he needs to keep Tryndamere from farming and pushing, which is going to be a pretty rough spot for them. And I would like to see them really divert attention to the mid and bottom lanes, get them ahead, and then use them to shut Tryndamere down. I'm not too sure how they're going to deal with it. We'll see exactly how as we get right here into the game and shift into our beautiful in-game overlay. We'll go ahead and move everyone here around on the scoreboard so you can go ahead and compare who's doing well, who's not doing quite so hot, and who is likely to carry out this game. Right now we're even at 2,400 gold on both teams, so that's likely to change as we get farther in, as it tends to do. And there we go. You can see exactly what everyone's picking up. A couple of Doran's shields here on the blue team, which is pretty expected out of a bottom lane, especially on Thresh. Supports don't really need the wards as much early on as they used to because of the introduction of trinkets. Against the Lee Sin, it could be dangerous, but if they feel confident enough against the Lee Sin gank, then not taking wards is going to help them a lot in this 2 versus 2. Since with Janna taking wards, she doesn't have nearly the stats that Thresh does, and if they end up fighting, Thresh and Lucian will certainly come ahead. Another interesting pickup is LeBlanc's... Whoa, the flash from Xerath there actually could hurt him. I really hope that was an accident. Maybe he was just pressing D for dance there. An interesting move out of that one. But I was just talking about how LeBlanc did pick up a flask, which is a lot of sustain in that lane, but not a lot of ability power, so she won't have quite the impact that she could if she had started out with the Doran's Ring. However, if she farms up, she can get to those items pretty quickly, and then hopefully take out Xerath. Lee Sin's going to be starting at this blue buff, and Mundo will be starting red, the purple start, with the red and the blue mix in here. And that's going to be a thing, no matter who tells me differently. Moxie Jaren taking it down fast with that Burning Agony, smiting it away, going to move on a little bit quicker than Shiny Altana can. Desecrating taking a bit of damage, but he does have that Crystalline Flask with the 3 charges as well as 3 health potions. The double Doran shields in the top lane will also help both these champions trade rather well. I understand why Shen picked his up, because Tryndamere can be devastating early levels if he gets that crit. However, since they both took the Doran shields, it's just going to allow Tryndamere to passively push this lane and just continue to farm going up. Now Desecrating playing aggressively there. That flask put him in the health advantage, and he's going to be able to really just walk all over this. I expect to see Lee Sin moving in soon. The silence landing on the Titan Dweevil. The auto attacks. He shifts back. He did not feel like he could use that ignite there. The potion might have been enough to overcome that, but Titan Dweevil really not in a solid spot right here. And I'd expect to see the Verse Blood coming here soon, potentially to a gank or to just the endless aggression from Desecrating. Evaniskus going for the Death Sentence there onto Art Style. We saw how well he played that Thresh earlier tonight, and this Thresh solution is such a common lane. A lot of early aggression as well as great mid-game scaling from both these champions really makes them fit well together. Lucian doesn't have a lick of crowd control, so you might as well pair him with someone with pretty much the most crowd control there is next to Leona, really. And Desecrating is really remaining unpunished here in the middle lane, going to continue farming up. Now he won't have the ability power going into the mid game from that Doran's Ring, but really that starting item shouldn't matter too much after they go back for their first buy. The farm is pretty even here, which can be difficult for LeBlanc early on, but she's actually going to start roaming top, see what he can't do to Gumpa, and I like this movement here if they find anything, but Moxie Jaren moves in a little bit early, and Desecrating won't be able to find anything up there. That is the Ghost out of Gumpa to run away. The Cleavers land. They do burn that Summoner from him. Oh, with Desecrating moving up here, they might actually want to look to dive onto this. There's the silence going in, the ignite. Desecrating flashes away. First blood splits into his passive, but the... Oh, wow. The health pot is going to be enough to keep them there. And Voibix just was chilling back by his turret, just playing it safely. Oh, Evaniskus in a bad spot here, trying to run away, is exhausted. He should go down here. There it is from Artstyle with the Reigns, the solid gank from Lee Sin, as well as just a little bit too aggressive a position from this blue team. Put them in the spot for that, and that will be a kill for either team. I was really surprised by Desecrating's dive there, but it was really, really solid, shutting down Goomba just a bit and allowing Shen up there to catch up and farm. Now with all of these minions, he's actually going to be able to out-trade Goomba. Oh, taunting him right in there. Look at all those hits he's taking. That's solid. Now Desecrating continuing to use that silence there. Now they're landing the... Oh, but there is Shiny Altana, and Desecrating does not have his flash after he burned that up in the top dive, and he will go down there. Lee Sin really making plays around here, has been a participant in both of his team's kills, and Moxie Jaren is just going to shove him off this turret, but ultimately not do too much. The Dweevil staying here, going to keep on pushing out this lane, keep up his farm. And with this 7 CS advantage, he's going to look to go pretty strong going into the mid game. There's always going to be the point where LeBlanc gets a little bit stronger than him, but right now he's minimizing that window of opportunity quite a bit. Wow, Webix going in aggressively on the Gumpa, throws down the Ignite, but doesn't have the damage to finish him off. Can't tank up the turret too hard. But this increasing aggression on the Gumpa going to help keep him from becoming that incredibly frightening late game Tryndamere. I don't think he can back off here. Voibix hasn't gone back yet, but if he allows Tryndamere some more alone time in this lane, oh, Gumpa falling low, doesn't have his ghost, but there's the spinning slash to get right back away. He's going to stay safe for now, but he has to be careful. The flash is still there from Voibix. He did burn his Ignite, though. Like I said, it's these first few levels where Shen can potentially shut Tryndamere down, but anything after that, once he has that endless rage, it's going to be just almost... Wow, Gumpa falls low there to the Vorpal Blade, has to pop the heal, the flash comes out from Voibix, he has the passive, there's a Vorpal Blade, and he gets the kill. Really well played from that aggression. Oh, Evaniskus falling low here, tries to turn it there onto Uncle Sam's cabin. There's the Shen ultimate onto Evaniskus, and that is impactful, taking out the kill on the art style. Shiny Altana having to back off of that one. Evaniskus staying alive. That was such a solidly timed Shen ult that they had backed off. They thought they had the kill already, and therefore they didn't quite have the chance to really move in and finish him off after he got that extra health. Now they're going to turn this into a dragon. Moxie Jaren has to be careful. He's falling low to it, smites it away. And if Zera so much as smells him, that should be a dead. But no, he's instead going to find a kill mid on the Desecraten, who overstepped just a little bit. Didn't even find a chance to use his ultimate. That's just the power of Xerath. And yeah, we won't run that. We can imagine what happened. A nice stun landing. And just all the follow-up from his ultimate can really just burst someone down unexpectedly. That's going to get stronger as he builds up into his high ability power items. Right now he's going for Arathian's Unholy Grail, which not only is going to help him stay a little bit safer against LeBlanc, but also just keep up his spamming in that lane, pushing it out, farming, and transition to a really good spot for late game where he won't run out of abilities or mana with that cooldown reduction and mana regeneration. Gumpa now dirty farming the top lane. Has to be careful. He has fallen a bit behind 0-2 and 0, but he's always a Tryndamere, and he is ahead 17 farm, which is certainly a good position to be in if you are down 2 kills. And this bottom lane, the farm is pretty much even. The only difference in these two AD carries is a pair of Boots of Speed, which is going to be over here on Impactful. Art style with that BF sword though is really going to head into this mid game strong. Lucian as well picking that up for both their champions' high auto attack damage and ability scaling. Top lane really turning into a slap fight at this point. Gumpa picking up the lifesteal from that Vampire Acceptor, going to be able to sustain better, and Voibix just doesn't quite have the damage to dish out. Picking up that Chain Vest, most likely going to turn it into a... Oh, Desecrate and falling low, flashes out, and there's the flash in from Titan Weevil, but the jump from LeBlanc is too much. Has to use that ultimate and the flash there, and Titan Weevil really doing work on this LeBlanc. I didn't expect that kind of outcome, but with the early ganks from Lee Sin, he really turned this in his team's favor. Voibix consistently doing damage to Gumpa, but there is the sustain coming out once again. Titan Weevil now could be in a bad spot. Desecraten goes in. There is the slow landing, the leash. Titan Weevil does pop the barrier, tries to turn down Desecraten, who jumps out of the stun. Moxie Jaren takes out that kill. And there is a gank up in top lane. Dragon's Range on the Voibix, keeping him kicking out from the turret. And Gumpa able to find the kill there. A solid gank from Shining Altana, going to help Tryndamere get farther ahead, his first kill of the game, and this will be the first turret turned into it, making up for losing that dragon earlier, evening up the gold here at just 300 separating the two of them. Now Uncle Sam's cabin attempting to defend this bottom lane along with Art Style. However, the consistent push from Evaniskus. Oh, there is the Descendants on the Art Style. They can't follow in there. They don't want to take too much damage, but that's the culling coming across with LeBlanc there. The flash in from Evaniskus, going to find the kill there. He is going to fall, though, with the double kill for Desecrate, and the Super Mega Death Rocket found a bit of damage there, but not quite enough to take down that LeBlanc, as they will take out their first turret of the game off of this. Impactful finally wearing it down with his Gunslinger passive. And that is the rather significant gold advantage here, with a couple of kills as well as the dragon under their belts. Up here now at a 1,000 gold advantage, 10 minutes into the game. Titan Duval has to be careful about how far forward he goes. Moxie Jaren is waiting there in the wings for Desecraten to come up. Desecraten's ultimate is available, and let's see if he can land the cleavers. There it is, one cleaver on Titan Duval. He does not have his flash. He's going to have to take all of this directly up. Dark place where he doesn't want anything to go. Moxie Jaren finds the kill there in the mid lane. Solid ganks from the junglers here in the mid, swing it back and forth. Ultimately, we will see who comes out ahead, but right now it's looking like blue team is taking a commanding position here, despite a couple of kills onto Desecraten and Evaniskus. Voibix not finding a lot of damage up top, continuing to itemize into that armor just so he doesn't take damage from Gumpa, but right now that's not his problem, as Gumpa is ignoring him for the minions. 81 minions is the second most farmed in the game, behind Impactful there on Lucian. And they definitely have to be concerned about this Tryndamere threat. However, they have tools to deal with them. They have snares from LeBlanc. They have stuns and slows from Thresh, and they have a nice shield and taunt from Shen. So they do have a good amount of crowd control to shut him down. However, if he can just survive through that, he can continue the damage. Here is Shiny Altana going in hard on the Desecraten, continuing in there. There's the Dragon's Rage and the Resonating Strike. However, the shield from Shen, oh, the dodge back, the juke, and Shiny Altana is going to go down there to Voivix. These are some really good Shen ults. He's used it twice in each turn. He both saved the life of the champion he ulted to and was able to return a kill for his team. Now 8-5, the blue team is looking to get into a pretty solid position here. 19,500 gold. Moving into this mid game, we can look at some of the items here. Our Impactful hasn't been able to finish his Bloodthirster yet, nor has Art Style. However, he does have his completed Berserker's Greaves. Now, Moxie Jaren in the Art Style, there's the Flay and the box. Impactful finds the kill there. Uncle Sam's cabin in a rough spot. Did use that Monsoon to try and keep himself alive. Flashes over the wall. Is going to stay safe there. Moxie Jaren not going to be stunned up there. From, oh wow, turning around to find there. There's the Culling coming across, and they're going to find the kill onto Uncle Sam's cabin. Now Shiny Altana could be in a rough spot. Flash over the wall. The flash immediately over from Moxie Jaren, and Impactful finding the double kill for Impactful. 3 kills for blue team overall, and taking a commanding lead of this game here. 3,000 gold in the advantage. At this point, it's really going to be up to Gumpa to turn this around. Titan Dweevil is falling off a bit, hasn't been able to pick up much ability power at all, and is falling consistently. Art Style as well, just not able to stay alive here. Oh, wow, Desecraten putting in a good amount of damage on the Gumpa, but he doesn't have enough to finish him off. Oh, there's the fight in the bottom lane. Titan Dweevil falling low. Impactful trying to dodge around, tries to turn it. There takes the lantern, but not too far. Art Style is able to find the kill there and continue on, running ahead of Evaniskus to make sure he can't get any distance between them, and that's going to be the double kill there. The Ignite's down onto Gumpa. He spinning slashes away. Desecraten wants to try and find that kill, but he's not going to be able to have that kind of mobility. Tries to go for it, but doesn't quite make it. Moxie Jaren knocked it from Uncle Sam's cabin, but Shiny Altana decides they want to take their first dragon of the game. And as they wear this down, I don't expect Moxie Jaren to make it in for the steal. He's going to try, certainly, and kudos to him for that, but against 3 members of the enemy team, that is going to be the dragon for red team. Now he could be a little bit out of his comfort zone with the Dragon's Rage in from Shiny Altana. Finding the kill there, that's Creighton turning around to kill on the Gumpa, who did not have his Undying Rage, and that will be a kill in return. However, that dragon really helped to even things up. The mid turret falling as well is going to bring them up within 200. However, the turret will quickly fall in the top lane to Voibix once he gets another wave of minions, and that will keep the blue team ahead. They can't afford to fall too far behind against this Jinx, who will outscale Lucian, and against the Tryndamere, who is one of the heaviest scaling champions there is. I really don't expect blue team to try and let this go into the late game. If they do, it really could be anyone's game, despite the advantage they can manage to claim. And I'm interested to see where our next aggression is. There's only 300 gold separating them since Shen hasn't managed to get the turret up top. He's still trying to push out, but without that Sunfire cape, he really doesn't have the wave clear. Now Shiny Altana ending up moving in onto him. There is the mocking shout for the slow. Voibix still has his dash. He's going to look to use it over the wall here, but he misses it over the wall. Desecrating is now there for a little bit of defense. He lands the snare. Voibix flashing away. He's going to stay safe. Shiny Altana going down there to Desecrating, who dodges in and out of these bushes. Gumpa falling low as well. Desecrating looking strong. Pops that heal. And is going to, now get caught out there. Doesn't even pop his had popped his ultimate earlier, but it had worn out by the time Desecrating and Moxie Jaren found him in the river. And that will be blue team continuing to snowball their advantage with kills. LeBlanc picking up the Magi Soul Stealer. Now has 4 stacks on it from those 2 kills, and is looking to put even more up there, racking up the ability to power Titan Dweevil with the Flay. Takes a lot of damage. The culling comes across, finds mostly Uncle Sam's cabin. Moxie Jaren moves him from the back, is stunned up immediately and has to back out of there, but there's a lot of damage onto him, and I'm not sure. That is super good death target, claiming his life. Not running away from that one. Desecrating is cloned to check for the enemies, but not going to sacrifice a kill himself. Smartly played. Our team just doing what they can to defend these turrets. They know if they lose these objectives, it'll not only give up a good amount of gold to the blue team, but also a lot of board control. Art style falling a bit low, but with 3 team members to back him up, he felt strong enough to stay in there and did force the back out of the blue team. Voibix now continuing with aggression up top with that Sunfire cape. He has a bit more room to play around in those minions as well as trade on the Gumpa. Finally taking the turret, bringing them up to about a 1,400 gold lead. Desecrating looking for kill on the art style, but he was pinged back, and Desecrating just continuing to pray out here, going to hide. I was hoping he was going to hide in that bush and wait for someone to come, which would have been a pretty funny thing, and that could be exactly what he's doing, waiting for Uncle Sam's cabin. And art style, he's going to come in, he's going to look to take these. There's the ward coming out, but Desecrating's going to come in. There's immediate knockup, and he has to back off. Really solid reflexes there from Uncle Sam's cabin after fighting him with the ward. And not going to have that kind of cheese here today, Desecrating. We didn't bring any crackers to eat with it. Is a joke I'm never using again. Don't worry, I'll work on it, guys. I'm always working on it. Desecrating now taking a bit of damage from Uncle Sam's cabin. Surprisingly, he does have to back off this turret, but managed to put down a lot of deeps himself. Impactful Evaniskus and Moxie Jaren continually trying to work down this middle lane, but it's been Xerath's wave clear just continuing to keep it safe. Shen and Tryndamere dueling in the top lane, and Shen looks to be a bit too strong for him. Picking up that random zone. There's Descendants landing onto Xerath. He turns it around though with the ultimate. The turret finally goes down. Now Impactful is moving up. There is going to be a kill soon on the art style. They finally take it out there. Xerath did escape out the back. Shiny Altana looking for the kill onto Evaniskus. Throwing out the Descendants, going to miss. Now Shiny Altana could be in a pretty bad position. Continuing to run away from Voibix. Desecrating looking to cut him off as he rounds the corner. There's going to be the snare landing on the Shiny Altana. Gumpa fell as well. A huge amount of damage from Desecrating. 4 kills for their team. Desecrating did take out Uncle Sam's cabin before that fight really started. And that should be a lot of damage on this turret. Most likely not the turret, as Xerath is here to defend though. And blue team just continuing to pressure up their advantage. Not really closing out the game. Not completely snowballing it, but with the consistent pressure around this game, as well as Desecrating really making a lot of plays. He's going to bring his count up to 8 on that Magi Soul Stealer. I believe it's 8 that makes it gold efficient. But at this point, it's giving him a good amount of ability power, and once he picks up some more magic penetration, he's really going to be an enormous threat for not just art style and Titan Dweevil, but like we've seen, Shiny Altara and Gumpa really have to fear their lives around that assassin. We're going to see just the scanning trinket there. Only 1 picked up in the game. Jana has sold the trinket. There it is. There's the purchase of the greater lens, which is going to really help both these supports continue to fight for vision. Oh, Shiny Altana gonna walk right into this when the death sentence comes. There's the flight backwards. Moxygerin trying to keep up on him. They don't have a lot of damage themselves, but they do have consistent control. Desecrate now moving in here, but doesn't want to go too far for that assassination. Shen and Tryndamere dueling here. Gumpa thinks he has what it takes, and Voivix concedes. Oh, there's a death sentence landing on the Uncle Sam's cabin. That could be too much for him. However, Impactful moves up here to go on to Shiny Altara. He has the red buff slow. The culling comes out. He doesn't cancel it, but he has Desecrate in there for the cleanup. As Moxygerin does take that, takes the Lantern right up here, which looks hilarious on the mini-map. And this should be the middle inner turret for the blue team after taking out that jungler and the dragon. Impactful and Desecrate now looking to clear this out. Pushing up the minions continuously. Titan Weevil looking for the assassination there. A lot of damage with the flash. Death Sentence going to stop him. Super Mega Death Rocket going right in between the team. A solid field goal from Artstyle. Not quite enough to finish anyone off. Desecrating with a huge amount of damage there. Now Moxygerin just moving in to take up this turret on the Artstyle. There's the damage finally impactful on the killing spree. Gumpa here to clean up. The Ignite goes down on the Moxygerin. The barrier comes out from Impactful. Moxygerin not going to fall over the wall. Gumpa being kited around here has to use his Undying Rage to escape, and he's not going to fall, but he's not going to take anyone along with him. And that Tryndamere coming in from the back really displays what can happen if you fall behind a little bit early on. He hasn't been able to pick up any more than... oh, that is going to be the burst coming from Desecrate, and a solid pickup there. He does fall to Shiny Altara, but at this point, he's just really putting up points on the board. However, with that death, he did lose quite a bit of his stacks. Only going down to 10, though, is still going to be incredibly powerful. You look at his ability power, he does have 281 compared to Titan Weevil, who is at 195, so almost a 100 difference there between the two AP carries. Titan Weevil finding Shen here, going to miss that stun due to an excellently placed Shadow Dash. And that consistent split push from the top Shen going to be a problem. He had fallen off due to some hits to his split pushing ability, to his combat, and ultimately due to just a lot of other champions being stronger split pushers who can duel better, who can wave clear better. Shen doesn't really have any of that. All he had was his sustain and his ability to teleport to his team. But it looks like it's still strong. Voivix really playing it well, able to save his team when he needs to with that ultimate. Has had it up for a while, hasn't really found the opportunity, but his team haven't been dying that much either. If you look, there have only been 10 kills onto his team, and quite a few of those have been rather sudden. Now Gumpa finding Voivix, going to trade some blows onto there, and he's finally maybe working enough. Voivix, though, looks strong with his Vorpal Blades and consistent auto attacks. Shadow Dash misses. The Ghost comes out. That is going to be the bottom inner turret falling. Now Artstyle in a rough spot. There is an excellent Death Sentence, and Impactful finds the kill there. Moves in immediately onto that inhibitor turret. Throws out abilities just to proc his Gunslinger passive. Shiny Altara tries to come around the side here for the assassination. There is the siege out of Xerath. The Shen ultimate comes in on Evaniskus, and he does fall before Shen can teleport in. Now Impactful looking to hold off 3 members of this red team as Tryndamere transitions down as well. He has to watch out for Gumpa, who's moving around the side here, but Gumpa's not going to be able to find it all that well. Moxygerin finds the cleaver onto him and is going to continue on with a bit of damage. Oh, Desecrating tried to turn around, but Gumpa comes in there with the crit. Does manage to take him out. These knockups from Uncle Sam's cabin really keeping his team safe with their excellent placement. Now Impactful looking to turn this around with the help of Moxygerin, going in aggressively into the enemy team. Gumpa falling low, has to pop that Undying Rage. Artstyle looking what he can't poke out, but he knows he's squishy. Oh, Moxygerin finding the kill on the Uncle Sam's cabin with that cleaver, but now he's going to fall in return. The culling comes across, so Titan Weevil falls low, but does not fall entirely. Impactful flashes in for the kill onto Artstyle, but does fall to the very same AD carry he swore to kill. This game is getting pretty ridiculous here with 7,000 gold, now 8,000 between the two teams. Blue team continuing to press up. They're now knocking at the door of this red team base. However, they're staying alive for quite a bit. I mean, Tryndamere has been kited out a bit, but is starting to really build up those items. So once he gets some damage, he might really be able to get in there and start becoming a serious threat, as well as Jinx picking up not only a Bloodthirster, but a Phantom Dancer. It's going to be dealing good amounts of damage. Desecrating finds Artstyle, bursts him down tremendously. That Deathfire's Grasp has so much damage amplification on it that it's really not going to leave any chance for Artstyle in these fights if Desecrating is allowed to get onto him. He's now up to 384 ability power, which just causes some tremendous damage out of those abilities. Titan Weevil now taking this blue buff, could be in a rough spot. Desecrating doesn't have a Deathfire Grasp, but Evaniskus moves in here. He throws out Death Sentence, but misses, goes between two champions. Desecrating still going to look for something if he can't take that. Oh, dodges around the stun, tries to move on Titan Weevil, has to fall back though. Moxie Jaren moving on to Janna there. Titan Weevil finding the kill on Desecrating with that excellent range. And there is the Siege Machine. Uncle Sam's Kevin flashing away from here, and the Dragon's Rage back might be enough to save his team. Shiny Altana using the commands, or using the safeguard there to stay alive. Now Evaniskus going to pull himself over the wall, and Uncle Sam's Kevin but can't take him out. Moxie Jaren trying to run away from this one, but the Super Mega Death Rocket a bit too much. Impactful, turning around a lot of damage onto Shiny Altaria, but he is against 4 members here. Throws out the culling, doing a lot of damage to Titan Weevil, but Artstyle moves up to tank up a couple of shots and does find the kill. And the impactful blue team is starting to split up, go in one by one, and without that Stand United from Shen, he's not going to be able to help them out at any point if they get caught. Gumpa looking to make a start on this Baron buff as his team go to join him. The first Baron attempt of the game. They are 5,000 gold behind, but with 2 members dead on the enemy team and the rest running from the base, this could be their chance. They are low though, and I'd like to see Voivix do what he can to stop this. Artstyle is the only one with a full health bar. He moves in there, he gets the taunt there, and there's a double kill from Desecrating. Huge damage there. Gumpa forced to press that Undying Rage. Evaniskus there with the catch out, the triple kill for Desecrating, and that is the Dragon Throw, where they weren't necessarily ahead, but they did give up any kind of advantage they claimed in that fight by going for the really unfortunate Baron call. Shiny Altaria and Titan Weevil doing what they can across the side here. There is a lot of damage. Desecrating jumps over the wall though and is going to stay safe here. This Baron falling slowly but surely. Impactful not even moving up to join his team, finally coming up there. Shiny Altaria could be in a rough spot though. There the auto attacks and a lot of damage. Desecrating comes in from behind, finds a double kill, the unofficial pentakill, killing every single member of the enemy team within the course of that 30 or 40 seconds. With 16 kills, Desecrating will be at 16 stacks. And with 523, it's really going to be a pain for every single member of this red team. They all have to be afraid of being burst down, especially due to this, what looks like could be a Deathfire Abaddon's, Medjai's, and Zanya's Hourglass ability power carry, which will keep him from really being kicked out or burst down from the likes of Lee Sin, Gumpa, or Artstyle. The 10,500 gold lead here to blue team, really showing out in their items. The Trinity Force over the Phantom Dancer there for the 80 carries, as well as the Doran's Blade on top of that. The Medjai's and the Elysiar's Rod in the mid lane, and in the top lane, just the enormously tanky build coming out here from Shen. If you look at that health and armor from all of those items, Rando and Sunfire and Thornmail, he's not going to take any physical damage here whatsoever. He only has to be afraid of Xerath, and at this point Xerath doesn't have too much strength. However, he's going to find the kill there on the Evaniskus, who doesn't quite have the defenses he needs. Only a bit of health from that Leandries and the Ruby Sightstone. Those are the picks that red team needs to find if they're going to stay in this, but I don't know that finding it on Evaniskus is going to be enough. Goomba just taking so much damage here, can't really attack Voivix that much for fear of the Thornmail damage. Artstyle holding this off well with his range, but Desecrating could most likely jump over the wall at any point and remove that AD carry from the map. The death totals are really high over here on the red team, since so many kills have been found by both Desecrating and Impactful. Gumpa did manage to sustain up in the top lane, but is just continuing to split against Voivix. Artstyle moving in here might be able to help. Moxie Jaren, though, finding the a bit of damage on the Gumpa, not popping out the ultimate, though. He will have that up for the next fight, has to go back to heal, and that could be blue team's cue to finally move in onto this inhibitor turret. The defense, though, from this Titan Weevil, is enough to keep them alive for the time being. Oh, excellent damage on the impactful, going to put him in a rough position. He has to sustain off of this one and needs quite a few more auto attacks to do so. Blue team hasn't found an objective for quite a while, but they're patient. They still have that Baron buff on top of them. They're regenning up, and there is going to be the attempt. There's the death sentence on the Gunpa, popping him down quite immediately. No ultimate on Xerath, going to leave his siege out of it. The culling comes across the team. Uncle Sam's cabin falls low on the outside there. Titan Weevil is falling low to the Moxie Jaren, who takes out one, takes out two for the double kill. Voibix now in there onto Art Style. 4 members taking him down. Double kill for Desecrating. Almost an ace. Shani Altara surviving off the backside of that one, though. Voibix now moving in for the defense there, and he's not being touched here by this turret with all of that health and armor. Finally going to take it down, move on to this inhibitor, which melts quickly. I don't suspect this will be the game for the blue team here unless Red surrenders. They do have some pretty quick respawns. We'll see how they can use them, though. Shiny Altara finding the only target he doesn't want to hit with the Sonic Wave, which is that tanky Shen, and they're going to move in to take the Nexus here. The respawns aren't going to come in fast enough, and that will be blue team taking out the game. Shiny Altara just flashing in for the desperation, but he knows it's all over from here. Blue team taking out the game in 31 minutes and 14 seconds. Well played here to blue team. An 18-5 LeBlanc, a 9-3 Lucian, and really solid plays all around. Just continued to pressure their advantages, finding kills whenever they could, and ultimately just claiming an item and positioning advantage time and time again. Well, thank you all for watching this cast. I do cast every single day. Remember to let me know what I did wrong, what I should do better, so that you will enjoy every game that I do bring to you, because I do eventually want to become a great presenter and commentator. So when I upload this to YouTube, remember to leave your comments down below. I'll pick something I want to work on, and I'll get better and better every single day. You're all great for joining me in this journey, and I hope that it has a great outcome. Have a good night.